What's going on, everyone? So, Rui Hachimura did not practice in yesterday's practice. On top of not practicing in yesterday's practice, he's questionable for the upcoming game. He's probably going to miss some time, right? And I imagine that the Lakers will be patient bringing Rui Hachimura back. You don't want to rush him back, especially with you winning. You don't want to rush him back, and he ends up getting hurt even further and then misses a bunch of time, right? You'd rather him miss 5 games so he can play, the next 62 or whatever it is at that point, then you rushing him back, he plays 5 games and isn't missing the 62, right? Like, you want to be patient. You want to allow Rui Hachimura to get right, so that way he can be a productive member on the team. And he has. He's had his inconsistencies this year. Don't get me wrong. He's still clearly playing out of position. He's not a 3. He is a 4. But he has done his best to kind of adapt and evolve and do the best of his ability masquerading as a 3 rather than a 4. But with Dalton Knecht now getting this opportunity, he's moved into the starting unit, and since then he has been great. He's been very good for the Lakers. 2 games already, he has completely saved the Lakers. Now, the first game that he saved the Lakers was the Grizzly game. He was coming off the bench. But since that, and then moving in the starting unit and playing these games, he's been money, right? He's a better natural 3. He's got the size, he's got the athleticism, he's got the length, he's got the things that you want from him to play and slot in a 3. Is he perfect? No, of course not. He's also a rookie. But the floor spacing is massive. Teams are glued to him. Right? He's hitting even contested shots because teams do not want to relent off of Dalton Knecht. And even Anthony Davis talked about, Dalton Knecht on the floor just opens so much for us because he essentially takes a player completely out of plays. Right? So now, when you're running your little 2-3-man game with Reeves and LeBron and AD, there's one less guy that you have to worry about. That's the help, because teams are worried, like, hey, Dalton Knecht, he can go knock down that 3 ball with incredible efficiency. And if you go to help and then you try to close out, he's just going to attack the closeout. He has the athleticism, foot speed, and an ability to get to the rim, as we've seen, right? So that is huge and just opens up for Lakers. But Dalton Knecht, defensively, still is a bit of a concern, which is fine. Again, he's a rookie. He's got to learn positioning. He's out of position at times. He's getting backdoored all the time, right? Like, there's a lot of things that he still needs to work on, grow, and develop. But the effort and energy is there, right? Not like he's just, oh no, oh man, that guy just got by. No, he's like active. He's getting in it. He's just, again, he has to learn the proper positioning, like which guys, okay, I can give a little space here, I can't, hey, I need to make sure I'm not taking my eye off a guy. Yeah, I want to keep an eye on the play, but I also need to watch and monitor my guy. I need to make sure that guy's at least in my peripheral, so that way I can, make the proper assessments, right? That'll come. That'll work. But with Dalton Knecht and his emergence, and him kind of being a better natural 3 than what Rui Hachimura has provided, it does make a potential Rui Hachimura trade more digestible. I like Rui a ton. I've hyped up Rui. I think he is a very good player. I think he could be much better if he was slotted as a 4, right? I also think if he... there is an argument to be made for him to come off the bench and have, him and D'Angelo Russell. Kind of have those 2 guys as your primary offensive options off the bench, right? You can send LeBron, send Austin Reeves to the bench, bring in D'Angelo Russell, bring in Rui Hachimura. Now Rui gets to play more of his natural spot at the 4 alongside Anthony Davis, which should help his rebounding, should help his offensive production. He still has the ability to stretch the floor and knock down the 3 ball, right? There's benefits to that. And I do think that there is a definite argument to hey, maybe we just kind of tinker this and go Reeves, Reeves, Cam Reddish, and then if Jared Vanderbilt comes back and get right, then maybe you go Jared Vanderbilt. But Dalton Knecht, LeBron James, and Anthony Davis. Now you have some real athleticism out on the perimeter with Dalton Knecht as well as Cam Reddish, right? Got that 3-point shooting and just that offensive threat, and Dalton Knecht, plus his ability to continue to make plays, which is something that Rui just doesn't, right? When Rui touches the ball, he's shooting. The ball is either going on the deck and he's going to try to make a shot, or he's going to shoot. Now, he did the last game he played in which he got injured in. He actually did a much better job of actually playing within the offense. Saw a couple times where, he went to attack, guys closed out, and he kicked it back out. He played within the offense rather than usually see see him try to like force a shot or just get a shot up. That's fine off the bench, right? When he's the sixth man, seventh man, go ahead, take all the shots you want, right? Because that's what you want. You need his scoring and his rebounding and stuff like that. So there's an argument there. But he's also making $17 million. And with him making $17 million, he's one of our more sizable trade assets. Now, I know some people, and I've seen this kind of argument of like, you know, you can't have your higher paid players off the bench, right? D'Lo's making 18.6 and you got Rui making 17, right? Like all of your salary is coming off the bench, right? I think that's a silly assessment. I don't care. Like it's not your job to go, okay, well this guy's making 20 million, so but he makes no sense in the starting unit, but would be just so much better in the bench. Right, like, but he's making 20 million, so we have to. No, your job as a coach is to put the best 5 players on the court at a time as possible, right? And if you know your 17 and 18 million dollar guy make more sense off the bench, you bring them off the bench, right? It's not even a question, not even a thought. Now, how would Rui feel about coming off the bench is the problem, and that's where I think you'll probably have to trade him because one, I don't think he's going. Like I think he'd get more of an opportunity. And more opportunity at the 4. But you're going to have Christian Wood coming back at some point. Also, how long is Rui going to be able to slot in at the 4? Now, LeBron did play more 3 in the last game. So maybe do something like that to where you kind of have both out there. But it kind of feels like more often than not, Rui's still going to be defaulted to playing, 20 plus minutes at the 3 spot where he's at a disadvantage. And to me, if you can take Rui and turn him into a better kind of natural 3, maybe you're moving Knecht to the 2. Like, let's say you go get a Cam Johnson or you go get a Jeremy Grant. You can still leave Knecht in the starting unit. You could slide Knecht to the 2, and now he's a big athletic 2 rather than an average-sized, athletic 3, right? Like, and now you could have like a Jeremy Grant, so you could go like Reeves, Knecht, Grant, let's say, LeBron and AD. Like, I just think that's a better natural just lineup structure. You still have the athleticism, you have the defense, you have all the things that you want out there. Or you could always, if you needed to, bring Knecht back to the bench and be like, hey, you're a rookie, it's how it goes type thing. It's like, okay, like, I don't think it would kill him. But, Dalton Knecht has just been so good. I don't think you can take him out of the starting unit, even when Rui does get back in healthy. Right? Dalton Knecht, like, he's really answered the call. Now, look, I am personally okay. Like, if you were to move him to the bench, I'm personally okay. Because, I've talked about it before. You don't want to put too much on your rookie's plate, right? And even though he's answered the call, you're going to have some bad games. You're going to have some inconsistencies. You're going to still have some moments. Again, like the defense, stuff like that are still concern, right? Like, if you can get the upgraded pieces, then I think it makes more sense, right? Like, I'm not against moving Dalton Knecht to the bench, but I think it needs to be justified at this point, right? Like, I think right now you can make an argument. It's like, okay, well, you move Dalton Knecht to the bench, but for who, right? Like, okay, if you want to keep him in the starting unit and bring in Rui and then have Cam Reddish go to the bench, sure, but we really could use his point of attack defense. We could really use his defense badly. Right? Now, he gets to defend the best player, and then Reeves gets to defend the second best player, and then, you have Knecht defending the third best player, right? Like, it makes it easier for everybody, where, like, now Reeves has to defend the best player, Dalton Knecht has to defend the second best player, Rui Hachimura has to defend the third best player. I don't think, but at the same time, it's just like, again, Dalton Knecht has been so good in the starting unit that, like, if that continues, this next game or two that Rui's out, how do you really, like, justify it, right? And look, I'm not saying Dalton Knecht's going to be like, oh, wow, I can't believe you're doing this to me. He might fully be like, hey, no, I get it. I understand. No problem. But it's just, I would look at it as, like, if this is my roster, like, Knecht just makes more natural sense than Rui, as much as, like, Rui. And then if I can get Rui to buy in on the bench and be like, hey, we can actually run our offense through you, right? Like, you get to play the 4 more now. We can run the offense through you more, right? Like, now you can be more of a fixture off the bat. Like, if you can sell it to him, I think you would, because you just have that better natural positioning, right? Where Dalton Knecht can just fit in and then continue to get acclimated, continue to get comfortable, continue to buy in, especially, like, if you can get him to really do that by playoff time, right? And if he really does continue to work and continue to thrive the way that he has been, that's one less need you have, right? So now maybe you are looking at it as like, you know what? Hey, forget Jeremy Grant, forget, Cam Johnson, right? Like we got Knecht that can fill that role. Let's go get a Bruce Brown. Right? Like let's go invest in a guy like that who now you got Bruce Brown, Austin Reeves, Dalton Knecht, LeBron James, and Anthony Davis. So you still have that athleticism, but Bruce Brown can be that point of attack, can be that aggressive guy, right? We know what he looks like in this style of offense, right? He's a guy that could thrive. Or, maybe you're going and getting maybe you still are getting a Cam Johnson or something like that, but moving Knecht to the 2, right? So it's like, we could get that guy. Now we just got a little more size, got some more versatility. It would open up so much more for the Lakers if that's possible. But, obviously it's still a lot of work to do, still a lot of room, right? You still got to figure some stuff out and make sure Knecht can continue to do this. But if he can, I do think it makes it easier to stomach trading Rui. I think Rui is always somebody that you were probably going to have to trade regardless. I've talked about it. I would love to have Rui as our backup for once LeBron departs. But, Rui only has one more year left on his deal. LeBron probably is playing another 2 years probably so he can play with his other kid. Is Rui going to really stick around and wait for I'll get the opportunity when LeBron leaves? No, and it's like, man, this rookie just came in and took my spot. And it's not because of Rui's lack of capabilities. It's just he's just slotted at a position, right? It's things you're going to have to figure out. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion, and I pass a question on you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? How do you feel? What are your thoughts? Do you think that, yes, right? You gotta keep connecting the starting unit. You gotta bring Rui off the bench until you could trade him. He makes it much more expendable now because of Dalton Knecht and his level of performance. Do you think, no, you gotta move Knecht back to the bench? Rui's got to stay in the starting unit. You cannot trade Rui. You got to keep Rui. Again, however you feel, whatever your thoughts are, I love to hear it. So let me know down in the comments below. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me a lot. So we enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.